Alright guys, welcome to another random video I'm just throwing together on the channel here today. I touched a little bit on Randy Orton's comments about Ric Flair's son, David Flair, in the sense of kind of subliminally mentioning about Ric Flair not having a son anymore, saying that Randy Orton's the son that he doesn't have. I really just want to go ahead and touch a little bit on the overall presentation of the Underground and the Retribution group, because those were the sore thumbs of the show. Randy Orton and Ric Flair wasn't so much, so it was really good, except for the comment that was made about the son part, which I did not appreciate, which I did notice there was 3 dislikes for that video. For the ones that disliked it, I apologize if you didn't agree with my comments about that. Or maybe it was just reference to me talking about Alexa Bliss, and if you guys are Alexa Bliss fans, well, tough. Bottom line, I feel that Raw Underground is a show that should be meant to be real. I think these guys should be fighting legitimately. They should be hitting each other for real. I don't think this is something that should be orchestrated and rehearsed like the rest of the show is. I think this should be competition over whatever. The point is that it doesn't have any direction. What is the ultimate goal? That's another thing that is missing for this. Raw Underground would be a success, in my opinion, if it was real. If these guys literally were hitting each other, there was cuts, there was bleeding involved, things of that sort, and there was some kind of ultimate goal while they were beating the shit out of each other. Because if they were just beating the shit out of each other for real, with no ultimate goal at the end of all this, what's the point? So I don't quite get that. There was some mention in the news that they are bringing in a Raw Underground Championship, possibly. I think that idea is god-awful. I mean, unless this is fucking real. But quite frankly, I don't see the point, really, to be honest with you guys, of Raw Underground, except for it being real and having some ultimate goal. Does it have a payoff for, like, a storyline between Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley in an MMA fight in a WWE ring? That would be something I would be okay with, where it wasn't orchestrated, planned out, or anything. These guys legitimately got in the middle of the ring and actually had a real fight that wasn't fixed. I think that would be fantastic. If that's what they were going with, which they could have done that last night, they didn't. They didn't continue with the Hurt Business getting involved in the Raw Underground, so I don't really see the point in Raw Underground being in existence. It makes no fucking sense. If you wanted to have it as its own separate entity and, like, do a 1-hour show of, like, MMA fighting, just to be more distinguished and have a real fights and whatnot on, like, the WWE Network, because MMA is a form of wrestling. You can't deny that. And since WWE wants to go that route with MMA involved and whatnot, I personally am going to start covering UFC events on this channel. I used to do that, and I kind of just stopped because I didn't really see a lot of people tuning in. But whether or not people are tuning in for the reviews for UFC events that happen every Saturday on a weekly basis, whether it's pay-per-view or it's on the ESPN Plus app or what have you, I'm definitely going to tune in. That is going to be my Monday reviews for UFC. Friday nights to fill in SmackDown, since SmackDown and Raw are absolutely terrible. I may continue to do NXT, but as you notice lately, I've been on and off with NXT. AEW's been consistent, so I will continue with that. But bottom line, at the end of the day, guys, I really just don't see any purpose of me reviewing Raw or SmackDown. It is such a waste of fucking time. The other thing that I'm going to mention is the situation going on with the Retribution. This is like the biggest piss poor situation going on Monday Night Raw. It's worse than fucking Underground, which I think is freaking ridiculous. At this point in time, don't you guys think maybe they should have had Vince McMahon on SmackDown last week in the last segment of the show, going over, being upset what's going on with Retribution? He wants to send out a warrant for their arrest for vandalizing his property. I mean, they should be having Vince McMahon already on screen right now discussing about how he is very frustrated, how security has been in WWE's Performance Center, about how, the wrestlers aren't doing nothing about this. Something of showing some kind of concern, because it seems like they're, as least important thing on the show, they just show them doing aggravating and annoying things that children would do in high school. And I personally think that is piss poor way of bringing this faction up. And if you have no reason whatsoever, it's a parody on the Nexus or anyone that's against what WWE has done with the smaller wrestlers and people that are outcasts, well, fuck you, WWE, because your idea of what you're doing is absolutely ridiculous. It makes no sense. It's not going to bring ratings. It's not going to make people interested. There's nothing interesting about this fucking program about Retribution. Secondly, why would you give them a fucking name to begin with? Why? Why are they getting a fucking name whatsoever on WWE.com? They shouldn't be having no name. There shouldn't be a name for this faction yet. The wrestlers should be introducing themselves as the name for their faction. They should be making the announcement of their fucking faction and making their identities revealed to who the fuck they are. At this point in time, we don't know who they are. Simply put, more than likely it has to do with planning and who the fuck they want involved within the faction. Now, if that's the case, why the fuck would you bring the damn faction up on WWE television without knowing the fucking members that are going to be part of this group? That is the most ridiculous and dumb idea I have ever seen in my life. I honestly don't get I honestly don't get the point of why they're doing this. They're just doing it for publicity, for the idea that maybe they'll gain some viewers on a weekly basis? Come on, man. This is ridiculous. They should have had fucking Vince McMahon on Monday Night Raw last night. There should have been an announcement on WWE.com and social media saying, hey, tune in for Monday Night Raw. Vince McMahon is going to address the vandalism situation that's been going on for the last few days at the WWE Performance Center. You definitely don't want to miss. Something of that kind of nature. I would have tuned in for that to see where that goes. Unfortunately, they haven't done shit. They didn't do shit. They still got them doing stupid shit, throwing bricks through a glass window on the Performance Center. The alarm system isn't going off, number one. Number two, they are not being arrested for vandalizing more property at this point. They don't have any security around stopping them from doing what they're doing. It would have been really cool if you saw real security guards being paid off to do this role and attacking these people, and they actually get to run off and escape. Something of that kind of nature, and we can't even get that. We got them flipping cars that we have no fucking idea how that happened. So they're flipping cars, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing whatever the fuck they want. They came in a SmackDown ring, cut the fucking ropes with a chainsaw, beating the shit out of fucking NXT stars that are portraying fans, and we got nothing to show for it. No progression, nothing moving forward. Just the same repetitive bullshit. Just like we get every single week with WWE programming. So again, folks, this is the reason why I can't review these shows no more. I really can't. Honestly, the only thing that I can think of that I would see as remotely reasonable to replace SmackDown would be Impact Wrestling. I think that I'm going to start reviewing Impact Wrestling on Friday or Saturday nights whenever it's available on Impact Plus. I may actually start watching it live on the Twitch and just give you guys my overall ideas about the show and how I felt about it. Because it can't be any worse than this. Really, I don't see Impact being worse than this. This is just pathetic. Really, this company is pathetic. And honestly, I think they just make fun of us all the time when we watch. And I think as a whole, as an internet community for wrestling, I think we should all just ban WWE from our TV sets. We should not watch their shit no more. There is no reason for us to tune in. They give us no reason to tune in. I would like to see them succeed because there's a lot of guys on that show that I truly care about. I truly think they're great performers. I think they're great entertainers. But they're not given the proper ability to do that, to entertain us and give us what we're looking for in a wrestling company. So again, as I have said countless times, over and over again, repeating myself like a broken record, as everyone else who has continued to follow this and review these shows, are getting nowhere. They've been spinning their wheels for the last 2-3 years, even more than that, probably 6 or 7, and don't find any value but yet keep reviewing it. What's the point? If you have a strong following, a guy like JD, I have to say, JD from New York 206, has a very strong following. I think if he decided to switch to a different promotion to review on Monday and Friday nights, people will still tune in for his shit. Because he is entertaining as fuck, and he's got great content as usual. And I think he is just spinning his wheels for no good reason, reviewing stuff that really doesn't deserve a review. It deserves to get off the fucking TV set type of mentality. They should be canceled. I don't know how they've been on TV all this time, but fucking WCW of Nitro of 2000 would outdo them in week-to-week programming if they were doing Monday Night Wars again. I honestly would tune in for WCW 2000 than watching this shit, because they actually tried to do something. They just were unsuccessful compared to what WWE was doing back then. WWE now, they're not trying. I don't see any attempts to improve. I see them just making fun of us and doing stupid, obnoxious shit that children would do. So, that's just my overall take on this. At this point in time, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you like the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below, and I'll definitely get back to you on that. And I thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day and stay safe.